right, read that first statement there. Triangle, angle, something. Some people just call it triangle something. Does anybody remember the measures of the angles? All three angles in a triangle will add up to how many degrees? How many? 180. 180, that's right. Now there's sometimes a right angle in there that's 90 degrees, but then there's two other angles as well. So, the measures of three angles in a triangle will always add up to 180. Alright, so, if you ever see a problem like this, you can say A plus B plus C equals what?
180.
180. Okay. So, but you're going to start off with 180 when there's a triangle. And then you're going to subtract. We're trying to find the measure of angle 1. So what are you going to subtract? What two numbers?
90, 59.
This one's 90. Good. Minus 90. And then what?
59.
Minus 59. Go ahead and do that and see what we get. We want angle 1 right there. 31. Measure of angle 1 is 31. Okay, now be careful. They're not telling you that this is 1 degree right here. This is a label. If they want to tell you how many degrees it is, they would put a degree sign. Angle 1 was 31 degrees. Alright, so try number 2 right now. You've got 35 degrees. You've got 90 degrees. Figure out what angle 1 would be. What do you get for an answer?
55.
55. Oh, there's a corollary, which is like kind of like a little sub-rule, a little subcategory that says that if you already have 90 degrees, then you don't have to worry about it. You can just do 90 minus 35. And then what would number 3 be? You got to subtract 75 and 54.
51.
51 you got? Good. All right, any questions on those? All right, now look at the next row. They get a little bit more complicated, but it's the same rule. Excuse me. The problem with the next row is that there's overlapping triangles, and you have to do multiple steps to get there.
Oh, okay.
So look at number 4 with me. We're going to look for any clues we can find. And first of all, I'm going to show you the 3 different triangles we're dealing with. The blue one, ACB, and then we have triangle ADD. And I want you to look at what you know about the angles there. This is going to use information from the past as well. And then we have triangle ACB. Alright, let's first of all try to figure out angle X. I think that's going to be the easiest one. What do you notice there? There, say it again? Okay, it's got a 90 degree angle. And what do you already know on the green part?
30.
30. So what would the blue part have to be?
60.
60. Good. That's right. 60 degrees plus 30 degrees would make the 90 degrees that they already told you. Okay, so it's 90 minus 30 basically. You find the missing part. So we know that X equals 60 degrees. Now look at the blue triangle. Figure out what Y would be. The whole thing is how many degrees? 180. And how many do you have already? 60 and 60. So take 180 minus 60 and 60. Let's see what you got. 60. Good. That's an equilateral triangle. 60, 60, and 60. Okay, any questions on how we got that? Alright, and then now we have to figure out Z. Well, we know that this is 30. And we don't know Z and we don't know this one. Can anybody tell me how I would figure out this piece right here? Yes. Excellent. This is that little linear pair that you guys knew from the past. This blue one and this green one make 180 degrees. So you do 180 minus 60, and the angle you get right here is 120. So that then helps us to figure out the rest of the green 120. So what we have in the green triangle is 30 and 120. Figure out where Z would be. Go. Don't guess. Get your calculator out. You do 180 minus 30 minus 120. What do we get? 30 degrees. Okay, you have to see that as its own separate triangle right here, that green one. So x was 60, y was 60, and z was 30. I should have gotten out my colored pencils for you guys. Okay, it's only going to work if you identify the three separate triangles. Anyone still writing? Look at number 5. Okay, you're going to have to think of these in terms of the separate triangles, and you're going to have to look at what information you already have. You have one figured out already? Oh, sorry, number 7. Sorry, I was cutting and pasting, and sometimes I forgot to go back and do it. So it jumps to number 7. It's okay. Alrighty, so I only see one angle that we can figure out right now. Angle X. Because this one I know is 11. And what else do I know in this red triangle here? 127. So figure out the red triangle. Do 180 minus 11 and minus 127. Let's see what goes right here.
42.
42?
Wow.
I'm hearing that. Does everyone confirm that?
Yep, it's 42.
3 is 42? Okay. So X is 42.
42.
Now, there's only, from that information, there's one, from what we know so far, there's only one we can figure out. How can we figure out Y right here? Linear pair. Straight line right here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that triangle. And while I do that, you try to figure out what Y would be based on the straight line. Okay, so that's one thing we have to deal with in math too, is that you can't just guess, you have to have a rule or a reason. Okay? I'm not picking on you. That's something that I have to say every time we're doing geometry, you have to go by a rule. And the rule is that this is a linear pair, and a linear pair is 180. So what do you come up with? 138. That's 180 minus the 42 right here. Not 127, I'm way over there. Alright, so y is 138 because you subtracted from 180 because you had a perfectly straight line right here. And now how are you going to figure out letter Z? 36 I'm hearing. That's 180 minus the 6 minus the 138, and you got 36 degrees. Do we agree?
Yes.
Alright, we've got people that agree with you. Good. So see this green angle, or this green triangle? You've already got 180, and you subtract 27, and you subtract 36, and say it again, it's 117.
17.
So 180 minus 27 minus 36.
That's right, minus the 2 that you know. That gives you the third missing. So equals 117. And then, the easiest one to figure out next would be y.
63.
Which is it, 117 or 63?
63.
Good, someone tell me why.
Linear
Because
pair.
you subtracted.
The 180 because it's a linear pair right there. Good.
Told you.
So the red one here at y is, you said 63? Because this is a straight line. 180. So 180 minus 117 equals 63. I'm taking your word for it there. You guys have the calculators?
So the answer you get in the first triangle, you subtract by 180.
In the first triangle, we subtracted these two from 180,
Yeah.
and then this linear pair, now we subtract from 180. And it's not going to be the same every time.
Fine.
But in this case, we took this one minus from 180, and we got this one, yeah, because of the straight line. So now find the red Z here. How would you find that? Did I hear 22?
Yes.
Oh, yes, you did.
Any questions where the 22 came from?
Yeah.
Okay, look at only the red. Only the right triangle. What two angles did we already know?
53.95.
And we subtracted that from 180 and we got the leftover 122. I have Excel problems. Okay, jump down to number 13 with me, please. Okay, number 13. This is slightly different. You don't just have numbers to subtract, but the rule is the same. All three of these angles are going to add up to 180. So tell me one angle that you know.
3x.
3x. Good, we know 3x, so I'm going to start off with that, 3x. What's another angle that I know?
Oh, the right.
And that's 90, good. And then what's the last one that I know?
4x.
If I add and combine all that together, how many degrees do I get?
180.
180. Write that down with me and let me help you solve this one, because that's something you need also. So combine those like terms. 7x comes from 3x and 4x. 90 minus 1 makes 89 equals 180. Subtract 89 from both sides. What do you get? Help me out with your calculators. 91 divided by 7 for me.
13.
13. Okay, are we done?
Oh.
No, the first step says find the value of the variable, so that part's done. X equals 13. But the second part says find the measure of the angles. So all we have to do is we already know this one's 90.
What?
What's 3 times 13 going to be?
39.
39 for this one.
Well, it's like,
You're plugging it in. 4 times 13 minus 1. 4 times 13 minus 1. Do that in your calculator. 51 now.
oh, so you put the extra.
Yep. 4 times 13 and minus 1. Now before you're done, take your calculator and do 51 plus 90 plus 39 and make sure that we did everything right. Does it come to 180? Then you did it right. 1 through 6 and 13 through 16, although we already did number 3.
1 through 6.